All right, welcome to Friday Live and Mail Call. I'm at the Retirement Railroad. I'm Steve, and got my co-host here, John, Mr.
Good
John
morning, all.
Linton, John C and E I. So,
How's
John,
everybody today?
everybody's doing good. Let's do roll call. All right, of course, 3 Dub Wiggy Wag was first, followed by Mr. Joe Rader, Steve 87 PSAP, or as I call him, Younger Steve. Of course, Mr. Lynn McCurdy and the HDMMRC. Mr. John Schuylkill River Valley is here with us and does my audio check, and he says everything is A-OK. Kyle Stevens is here. Katrina Hawk, who I understand is a friend of Mr. John Linton's. Eagle Creek Model Railroad is here. Good to have you, man. Who did I miss? I missed anybody? Don't think so. I think I got everybody. All right. Well, cool beans. All right. So, I normally would have trains running about now, but due to my extreme preoccupation this week, I forgot. Last time I ran trains, I forgot to plug in the iPhone that I use with engine with Y controller, and so don't have a. Well, I do have other controllers, but that's one I like to use the most. So heck with that. Anyway, maybe here in a little bit I'll get. Well, what I can do, I know what I can do. I can turn on your favorite, John, the Aurora,
Yes.
and I can turn on the trolley. Most people, well, maybe not, most people don't. I finished the backdrop buildings for Chicago, and or background buildings, I should say. And I've got a video that's in editing for tip of the day, covering the finishing of those last 3 buildings. But it was our annual HOA meeting this week, which had me extremely busy, and I didn't get it edited. So that might be out by next Tuesday. So, and I will say now that, John, unless you want to do a live stream next week, I can't. All right, I will be out of town attending our
Goldfish convention?
Goldfish, yeah. Our Associated Koi Judges of America, our annual seminar, and we'll be up just outside of Indianapolis. So,
No, I think I'll take that Friday off too.
okay. So no live stream next week, folks. Hey, JB, Mr. John Bannicky.
JB, how are you today?
So, and Younger Steve says he can't stay long, and that's okay. You know, John and I understand we're retired, so hey, but we understand there's others out there that are working. So we're the koi swimming upstream. I'm just happy when they swim.
And I have no HOA here, so I don't have to worry about that stuff.
Well, I don't worry about it either. I'm just the president, so it's kind of important.
You're not. No, Steve, you're always worried about something. Who can you get on the bad list this week?
Oh, I'm on everybody's bad list, so that's okay.
Realize that.
People either love me or hate me. The people that want a good neighborhood, they love me. The people that don't want to have to abide by the rules that they agreed to abide by, all right, they hate me. So that's all right.
Yes.
But that's not model railroading, so we digress. And you might see I'm not looking the right ways. Well, actually, let me switch some of this stuff around so I can look at the camera. All right, so first thing I do is move that there. Then I got to move that over there. I move this over here. And finally, I got to move this over here. Okay. So now I can look at the camera.
Not that that's a better view.
I never insinuated that it was. So,
Yeah.
hey, Dwight, how's the flatlands of Central Illinois or North Central? You're in, you're kind of on the border between Northern Illinois and Central Illinois. Probably more central since you're south of the Illinois River, southeast of the Illinois River. You're in Starved Rock territory. One of my high school hangout places. Hey, Lee, welcome. Most of today's live stream is I'm going to turn it over to John here in a minute. I'm going to be his sidekick. But I wanted to go through the one mail call I received. All right. And it was from John at Schuylkill River Valley. All right. And so, hey, Derek Alexander, welcome. So I will open this up. Yeah. Exactly, Steve. Exactly. Well, let's post that one up there. All right. Is that showing up? How come it didn't show up? There.
Yes, there it is.
There it is. All right. So, as I open this up, all right. Got a nice little letter here from John. You take part in amazing gifts I received. Oh, yeah. For those who didn't know, a bunch of us chipped in and had a custom switcher made for John for the railroad that he models. That I don't think you can even buy stuff for that railroad, or if you can, there's not much of it. So, but a bunch of us donated and got him something. So, yeah, thanks, John. It's a very nice letter. And included in this is a sticker. I don't have any fancy stickers like everybody else has. And a funny thing also, the acid pit. I know exactly where that acid pit is, John. As you and I have discussed, I used to get up in that area on business all the time. We had one division there in King of Prussia, kind of along the river a little bit, in an industrial park. Maybe from the Holiday Inn, and the mall, you went east. I think it's east. And then across the river, and then down back towards the southeast. Towards into an industrial area. So that was where one of our operations was that I went to all the time. The other one was out in Oaks, actually as you get off the expressway, drive through Oaks. It's on the other side of Oaks, and there's a really cute little inn, tavern, whatever, St. James Inn or something like that. That it was the first place I ever had turtle soup. It was really, really, really good. So I didn't know about it, John, I did not know about the acid pit until you brought it up. But I know, based upon the map and where you said it, I've been right by it. I'm thinking anyway. So.
Well, and John, I've got family in Danville, Illinois. In fact, that's where my grandfather retired at for working for the CNEI Railroad. So I hope to be up that way again sometime soon, so maybe we'll have to get together.
No, he's not by Danville.
Well, you said upper
Bucks
Central.
County.
Well, I got
He's
family
he's
up
by
north.
Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, nowhere near it.
Okay. Never mind, John.
Doesn't mean you still can't meet up if you get in the area. So
Yeah.
anyway, on my desk here, all right, I got the layout which kind of runs through the desk, and then there's the upper cabinet, and on the glass side cabinets is where I put all my stickers. So I will add that to the cabinet. So thank you very much, John. I really do appreciate it. Because sneak in here, Anthony Dodge. Yeah, there's Anthony. Hey, Anthony, are you back yet? There's Cuz. Okay, I missed him. On Dave BNSF. Hey, Dave. Yeah, great place to play in the acid pit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. We used to hang out by Argonne National Laboratory, and which is just south of Downers Grove. And they do a lot of atomic research there, so we were always joking around that we'd end up glowing. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Full house today.
Very good.
Yes, I traveled extensively, both growing up and in business in my career. So I always find it very interesting as I'm meeting all the new people in the hobby and stuff. Even if it's just online, I can almost instantly make a connection just from where they live. Like Dwight Curley, he's around the corner, in Illinois, not far from areas I used to hang out in, and things like that. So, cool beans. Well, John, did you have a mail call, or did you just want to go through the other things?
Well, no, I had a mail call. It's not much. In fact, it's all the way from the Netherlands. My daughter over there sent me some plastic sheets for Father's Day. These are the .06, 12 by 12, or 11 and 3/4 by 11 and 3/4. Yeah. Not quite 12 by 12. But I needed those to start working on some of my buildings that I want to put interiors in. And besides
she didn't ship those all the way from the Netherlands, did she?
No, she ordered it from the Netherlands and shipped it through Amazon. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I'm sure it came out of the United States.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. And then she got me the .04 and the .06. And this is the .06. The only thing that I was a little concerned about is the .06 has one side that's a little rough and then smooth on the other side. But I think for interior walls, it doesn't really matter any. It might be nice to see a little texture on it. So if you can actually see it, but yeah, that was my big mail call for the. I actually got these last week, but I wasn't available last week. I was away, and had a good time, but missed the live stream.
Len, I've turned up John's mic as much as it'll go, so.
I can try to turn it up some too. Let's see, speaker. Well, Lynn's getting old, so maybe it's just he's hard of hearing. Audio.
And see, as you turn it up, I got to turn my volume down. So maybe it's my mic settings are too high. I don't know.
I don't know. Is that any better?
Now you're softer. It seems like. Well, that could be because I turned mine down.
Okay. Well, mine's all the way up, so it must be your settings there.
Well, Lynn's saying, what did you say? He can't hear you. Well, Lynn, it's got to be on your end because I hear him just
Lynn, turn your
fine.
hearing aid on, okay?
Yeah. Turn your volume up, Lynn.
uh,
Hey, John says it's good there, so got to be on your end, Lynn. I can tell you that. So, well, that's cool. Yeah, I've got .06 and I got .04 both sheets. I really like the .06 because it's more structural, but it's a lot harder to cut through than the .04. So
yeah, I can imagine.
What I'm like when I did the front that you sent me, John.
Yes.
I had to cut through that to make windows, and I didn't want to try to cut through the .06.
Yeah.
To do those fine little windows, so I went with the .04.
Well, now, have you looked into, Vinny's got that nibbler that he uses for cutting out windows. I wonder if that would work for you.
It would, but I didn't have one, John. I can't use one if I don't have
I know, but maybe Vinny can tell you where he got his, so next time you don't have to worry about that. You can get it from
Micromark.
Okay.
You can get it from Micromark.
And Vinny's saying that the .04 is okay, but he's got to remember he's doing N-gauge, so it's smaller anyway.
Yeah. And just so you know, because John's a stickler on light bleed, so that's why he's got to have that .06.
Yes, definitely. Steve did this beautiful structure that was for his ice plant. He extended the ramp, and there was just light bleed all over the place. I said, Steve, for such a beautiful structure, why can't I see all the light?
It was at one place because it was on the drop down, all right, and it spanned the drop down. So when you dropped one side down, part of the icing platform dropped down as well.
At least that
one would stay up here. Well, when you brought it back up, there's a gap there. Okay, so that it would drop down. Well, we worked, John, and gave me some hints and stuff, and worked through it, and we got rid of the light bleed. But it is what it is.
So from now on, I just harass him every time I see a little bit of light bleed here or there on his structures.
Just wait. Paybacks are a bitch.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any structures finished and no lights, so you can't. It'll be a while.
If I had every tool that everybody has, all right, because everybody has different tools, but if I had every tool that everybody else says I need, I wouldn't have a railroad because all I'd have is tools.
That's true. But, the ones I see that work real well, I kind of want to get, like Vinny's little nibbler on there. It was pretty good. He was going right through those windows pretty good. Good speed.
It wasn't, in the grand scope of things, I know exactly, would I like to get one? Yeah, eventually I'll get one.
Yeah.
All right. But I really didn't need it till I got to Chicago.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I only needed a limited amount there. Now, when I do Downers Grove, which is right down in front, between me and the monitor, I'll probably I'll need a nibbler because I've got all kinds of panels, building panels and fronts and stuff that I'm going to build this city out of. Plus, I have two of the Walther's Main Street series of buildings. Well, I have one. The other one's still a caboose stop.
Well, Lynn, I have a lot of different tools, and I'd say I use a good 75% of them. If I buy something for a reason, that's, I use it for that. Now, can I say I use them every day or every week? No. But when I do need them, I know I have them to be able to use them.
Do not get me wrong. I'm a firm believer in tools, having the right tools for the right jobs. There's no use beating yourself up, all right, and getting frustrated utilizing the wrong tool when there's something much easier to use. But
That's
it's
correct.
a limit. You can't buy every tool in the world right out of the get go either. So
Well, you can try though. Yeah.
and okay, do you have a table saw yet, John?
I did have. I don't have now. I got
All
to
right.
get it
See, why don't you have a table saw, John?
because I got one I can borrow down the road.
And you had one across the bay when you were here.
That's right. I had one I could borrow. Yes. Yeah.
Uh,
I even left 2 band saws down there just because I didn't have any room to get the stuff.
well,
Yeah.
you could have thought about me because I would have been happy to pick up one of the band saws. Hey, Robert, a flying crow.
Well, I can probably get in touch with my buddy who lives not far from my old house and see if he's still got them.
Yeah.
There were 2 of them.
I
They
want
were one needed the rubberized wheel put on the main hard plastic wheel for the grip, and the other one was brand new. I only used it for a small project. My supervisor at Pinellas County wanted me to make a model of the um, Bel Air Causeway Bridge on how they lifted the center sections in with barges. I made little barges. I made some cranes out of wood. I made all the arches for the columns, and but I used my bandsaw for that. So
Well, let's see.
yeah,
I got a table saw. I got a chop saw. I had a drill press, but I gave that to my son because I found I didn't really use the drill press that much. What else? A router table. Okay, I've got tons and tons of tools, as you know, John. But
yes,
it's just a matter of not. I don't think anybody ever has every tool. So
no. Well, Lynn just said he's got the truck spreader. I've got that too. That does help.
I got a
It
truck
is-
spreader.
Yeah, and then I've got the axle tool for carving out the ends of the trucks to get
Truck tuner.
Yeah, truck tuner. Yes,
I got that. I got those. I got 2 of them. So
and that works real well. And with all those old CNEI covered gondolas, I'm gonna need a lot of them, and every one of those has to be cleaned out.
all right. What do we? I gotta do something here.
Well, now, Lynn, if you were doing foam and still working on it, the electric chainsaw is very good to use for sculpting your pink or blue foam. Now, just remember though, it makes a mess.
I saw Ken Patterson do that, and I
Yeah.
got electric chains. I got electric chainsaw. Yeah, it's not worth the hassle. All right, I'd much rather use a rasp or the best thing I found for sculpting foam, and it's not a hot foam cutter. It's a reciprocating
Saw blade.
tool. No, not saw blade. Some people call it Sonic.
Well, now Ken Patterson's also using a
One of these
pruner blade also. Oh yeah, vibratory.
with a different blade.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's like I have, Steve. Remember when I was cutting out the holes
Right.
from my pits on the turntable? Yeah, which I need to cut more. So, yeah, it works real well.
It saws off for cars that won't cooperate. Yeah.
Yeah. But having
That
the
or a
right
trash compactor.
having the right tools is good. But you can always do things other ways too. You know.
Lynn, I got two truck tuners, but they're both the same thing, but they're different. These are from DCC Concepts, and they're different in that one looks like, oh, what the hell happened here? One has the double wheels on the sides there, and the other one has the roller in the center. And it matters as you're trying to make it go back and forth to ream them out. Hey, Jack! Looks like you had a good time at JD's the other day.
Well, I don't know where my truck tuner's at, but
you know, JD where JD moved to is God 1-2 miles away from the house, my dream house that I designed and we built in Texas. Well, mine worked just fine, Lynn. So.
Yeah, mine works okay. Just got to remember, you got to flip it over to do the other side. I've seen a couple people think that they do both sides at the same time, but they don't.
Mine does.
Mine doesn't. You got to flip it over. I think I got mine. I think mine was from Micromart. I can't remember. It's been a while since I bought that.
These have blades on both sides.
I don't think mine does.
Yeah, mine does.
Well, you're just special, Steve.
I know it.
Yeah.
That's what my wife keeps telling me, but she, the way she says it, I think she has a different meaning.
Yeah. Or like Special K.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's...
She keeps saying she's going to call a short bus for me. I don't know what she means.
Short bus, okay.
Yeah.
Well... Nice. I got a mess here I got to clean up.
Are you ready for...
ready to win the lottery? Yes, I'm ready to win the lottery. But, yeah, we can go ahead with those.
Actually, I need you there. And then I need this here. And then I need...
Well,
righty, there you go, John.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing a lot of... Steve and I and quite a few of us are members of the Mini Prince Box of the Month Club. And Bernard has set up a new Facebook website for the Mini Prince modelers. And I've been getting a lot of good comments on there. And Lynn suggested that maybe we show them on the live stream. So that's what we're doing. This was my
exactly, Jack.
My first attempt, and this is the. Let's see. This came in 2 months ago. Steve was in the pack.
Oh hell, I don't remember. I've slept since then.
Yeah, you've got so many of them that you don't know where they're at anyway. But I wanted to start painting mine and getting going on them. Because it's something I can do without having to get out a lot of tools and remeasure things and get things wrong. But this is one of the Mini Prince cars. Nice junkyard vehicle. You can go to the next one, Steve.
Well, maybe I can. Maybe I can't.
Well, I thought we worked that out.
We did. Next picture.
Yep, I just I took the 4 side shots of it just to show what was done. I don't like my rust. This one I may repaint and start over on the outside. The interior's fine. The exterior I'm not real happy with. Um, Another thing I'll tell you is when you take these close-up pictures, it does show the different layers of the print. So if you're going to take close-up pictures, make sure you sand them. Uh, but from 12 inches away, you don't see those lines. Um, so just a little hint. I'm sure if you blew up this picture, which I have tried on the website, you do see the different contour lines of the print. And it's both on the side and the top. So think about that when.
I tell you what, if somebody's getting this close to looking at it, and then be critical, I they probably shouldn't come to my layout.
Yeah.
Next one, John?
What's that?
There's the lines you're talking about.
Yeah, and if you zoom way in, you'll really see them.
Now, see, on the engine compartment, a lot of the components will have ribs like that, just as almost like a heat sink type situation. So that's not a big issue.
No,
on the roof, yeah, it would have been nice to paint, but who cares?
Right? Yeah, but as I say, from a distance, sitting on a layout, you're not going to see them at all. One of the other ones, I mean, 6 inches away, I can't see the lines, but you zoom into it, you can. So
you may want to try, and I'm not being critical of John because he went through multiple reiterations trying to get this rust done. And you may, one suggestion would be to blend them a little more.
Well, and they were just drying too quick, but I didn't use this pack, which is what I should have used. Okay. That is all just using cheap, Apple Barrel and the other Americana paints. So
right.
The other rusting that I've done on some of these other ones are using the better rust staining and streaking effects from Vallejo. What's that?
Should we look at the next one?
Sure, yeah. This is my favorite one. This is, but as you see there in the picture, you can see the lines. If I get another one of these, I'll definitely sand it. But in person, in front of me, I can't see them.
I'm sitting here looking at mine like that, and from normal viewing distance, you can't see it.
No, and in person, with this, I had a light right over top of it to get as much light on it as possible because my light in my room is horrible. But yeah, I think this one turned out real nice. Now, I'm going to say this isn't a junkyard truck. This is a truck that's being restored. So
mine's a junkyard one. Dave says 70% IPA can help you. You can use that to help blend it.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, I was just messing around with it. I wanted to see what I could do with it. I was using a little bit of water, but I've got up to 99% IPA, so I keep little bottles of it on my paint desk with the different formulas on them. And as I say, I go from 70 all the way up to 99%. I'll use the 99% when I do the airbrushing with the Tamiya or Tamiya, whichever way you say it, paints. But go to the next one. And I was trying a little something with the beds. If you all remember your old pickup trucks, in between those metal ribs was wood. It wasn't metal. So that's just a little trying to
I
get.
thought I thought there's metal, but you put wood in, but in those slats.
Yeah, it's those. The green lines there are the metal ribs, and then the
Right.
tan are the boards that slide in between them.
Huh. Well, what I remember is the metal is just almost like a corrugated effect, and then you put the boards in, and they bolted down to that metal.
I remember they were a little bit more like a little I beam myself, but
Okay.
you know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but they had to be strong enough to take punishment of putting stuff in there. So I think
Exactly.
if it was thinner material, it'd get distorted too easy.
Dave, I get my 99% IPA at Ace Hardware in the paint department. I buy it by the gallon.
Yeah, and I got mine during COVID. My wife actually found it online and bought me a case of it. So I got plenty for, oh, probably the rest of my life. Uh, so, you know,
Everclear's only Everclear's what 90% alcohol, I think
uh, um,
180 proof.
yeah, I don't
My
think I drank it
memory
though.
serves. What Everclear? Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah!
Woo, too strong for me.
Oh no, I wouldn't drink it
I,
straight.
I think Lynn's using that for something else and not painting. I think he's drinking too much as he works. But okay, let's go on. Um, I try to always put mine on a mini prints box just to. I'm sure Bernard likes that. That's more advertisement that it's a mini prints. And my blocks aren't as old as some of the other people's blocks. They're a little bit more of the fresh white or off white antique color blocks. So I could show some rust stains on it. I think when they're darker, you can't show that new rust stain running down there. And that I did use the Vallejo paint. I can't even say it. Uh, that has the stain and streaking in it. A good little kit to have.
Lynn, in Iowa, Everclear is considered a food group, considering
Uh,
it's made from corn.
corn. Yeah. Yes. Okay, you can go
All
on.
right.
And that's
I like
just the front.
white bumper. You
Yes,
know,
and the lot of as you and I were speaking, Steve, lot of the older pickup trucks that weren't going to be sold in a town or something, they just had white painted bumpers. Um,
if it was a work truck, they had white painted bumpers. They didn't have chrome.
no, it was too expensive, and even really the grill would have been white painted and not the silver if I was.
Either white, it could be black, it could be match the color of the body, but it was painted. The point being,
Yeah,
there wasn't much chrome on a work truck.
right, correct. And I noticed, see, even my side view mirrors are chrome. They were, if I had a white bumper, they would most likely have been white. So, just things I'll think about next time I do one. And I sent a message to Bernard. I said, why don't you do this truck with wheels on it? I would buy several of them if it had wheels on it.
Yeah,
One
that's
of the
true.
I can't remember who it was, but I had a response from one of the mini prints modelers. He showed a light blue pickup that he had put wheels on. He found them in one of his parts box and he slapped them on, and it looked good. And it
Yep.
was even the one with the big wide. white walls on it, the old style. And boy, Bernard needs to make them with wheels on them and sell them. He'll sell them like hotcakes. So, because think about how many trucks like this can you have on your layout? Maybe, but you could have a lot of them with tires on them. Heck, you could have a car dealership with a bunch of these trucks sitting out front, and they're nice models, very detailed.
In
So
answer to Steve's question, illegal immigration is legal in California, isn't it?
yeah,
All right, that's enough of my political
yeah.
uh, uh, for today.
So okay, we'll just go on.
95%. Okay. So I make it 190 proof. Okay.
Yes, yeah,
I was off by 10 proof. Excuse me, Lynn.
yeah, and like you'd really
Uh,
notice that after the first drink or two.
One of the nice things about mini prints. Oh, I skipped something.
What'd you
Where'd it
skip?
go? I don't know. I thought I was saving these for last. No, I guess I saved the others for last.
Yeah. So here's the nice HO scale layout that was in. I think that was in 2 months ago, and so now thinking about it, the train that's on there is 187th, 187th. So that's what 7,000 something scale, 1 to 7,000 scale.
Yeah. How did you paint that?
Very carefully with a small brush. I
I
don't know.
mean,
Can you?
I guarantee I could not paint that with a microbrush. I just couldn't do it. I
No.
saw that when you posted it on
Yeah.
when you
Don't
sent
use
it
a
to me.
microbrush. Don't use a microbrush. Use a regular bristle brush. But I think I was using a 5/0. I
How
can't.
small can a drop of paint be? Uh,
Well, yeah. Well, it works.
when you look at this picture, you think that those squares are like 1 foot tile squares. They're not. They're like 1 inch squares,
They're
aren't they?
they're 1 inch squares. Yeah.
All right. So that thing isn't even 2 inches wide. It's an inch and a half wide. All right,
Yeah.
in length.
Yeah. Um.
That's incredible.
Where? Oh, here. Let me. So for users that don't have it, here it is in my hand.
Look how small that thing is. But yet, look at how detailed the painting is on it. Let's go to the next one.
So I have touched it up since then. I did have a little bit of the yellow down on the parking lot, and I missed some of the green in places. It took me an hour or more to paint this. It's tough. I was even thinking about doing something else. I was going to get some of the light green fine scatter and put little drops of Aleene's tacky glue on those dark green dots, and drop some of the scatter in there to make them 3 dimensional.
Well, you could take some IPA or not some white glue
Mm-hmm.
and put one little piece of ground foam.
I had some that.
Probably the fine.
Yeah, but I was just going to put drops all over those and then sprinkle it on and then shake it off. Um, and even, in the center, there's a hill with, I painted as wooded, but I think that would look real good with some actual foliage on it to give it
Uh-huh.
a more of a 3 dimensional look. I was going to try that yesterday, but I got a little bit too busy. And I couldn't find my real fine green scatter, which it's It's in one of my boxes I haven't unpacked yet from the move. It's only been a year and 4 months since we moved here, but that's the way it goes. A lot of things to do.
It's just an incredible
Thank
job.
you, John. Um, yeah, it that the caboose is red, by the way, and it is a steam engine that's in front, so it's the engine and a
No
coal
photo.
I that I don't think that detail's on there, Steve. Um, yeah,
Probably mine out and look.
well, I had, believe me, I had my glasses on to paint this,
It's
but
just incredible. Excellent job, John.
it
And I think the last series we have, it's one of the things I like about Bernard. He always has some, for lack of a better term, comical prints. So there we go.
now that's Murphy and Ruby. They are my neighbor's donkeys next door. And I didn't like her color too much. It was too buff, tannish color. She had a little bit more grayish tan in her, so I did repaint her. And if you look on Murphy's back, which is the male in the back, uh, he's actually got a cross on his back. The line that's coming down on his front shoulder blade there's one on the other side, and it runs the entire length of his back and down into his tail and up into his mane. So it's like a cross on there. And I
Well,
tried to copy him.
Derek,
Uh,
the machine you're talking about is a 3D printer. It'll do that. The problem is you have to still paint it.
yeah.
Now, as time goes on, now they have multicolor uh, printers, at least in the spools,
Yes, in the spools. Yes.
and so you can print multiple colors all in one shot, but they're not going to be the colors you necessarily want. Right? They're going to
Well,
look plasticky. So.
yeah, Steve, the ones that you can do multiple colors with the older ones. You would just have to stop the process and change the spool. Now they're getting some that are like a Surge sewing machine that has multiple spools hooked up to it, which then you can tell to print the different colors. But
Yeah,
those are
if you
big money.
change if you change spools in the middle of a print on a single spool, you're going to be doing it by layer.
Correct.
Right? Which
Yeah.
may not be what you want to print. Whereas the multi-spool printers will change on the fly. So on the same slice or layer, you have multiple colors, is my understanding anyway.
Yeah, and I don't know if Bernard's working on.
I know what you meant, Derek. I was just had to chime in.
But anybody that's not a member of the Mini Prince Box of the Month Club, I suggest you join. It's neat. You get different things in there, and yes, that is to scale. Um, my yeah,
I didn't realize that he went into that much detail.
yeah. There were quite a few comments on there about that, and I can tell you from my back porch over into the neighbor's property, which is at least 100 yards away. Uh, that's to scale.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know. I believe that because I've seen horses. Anyway,
yeah,
uh,
and then there was another comment about hooking up a sound system with a card. Something like you have for your pigs and cows in the
huh.
meat factory.
Just a sound
Let me
card.
I, let me tell you, he is the only thing I hear from my bedroom. He is the whole house width away from me, 100 yards, 150 yards away, and it sounds like he's standing outside. This morning he was in their barn they have, a metal barn, and he was blaring in there. Oh my word. It's the loudest noise around here. It would drown out tractor sounds and everything. I mean, they are a loud animal, and that's why he has them over there because they're also an alarm system. Um, you know, lately he's only been yelling when he's wanting something, but um, before Ruby came along, he was doing it all the time. But they're a good deterrent for coyotes. We do have some in the family, but yes,
Because it is a
Vinny,
family show,
I didn't say
trying to
anything
make a
wrong.
family.
Yeah. Um, and they're playing hopscotch, Vinny, or hop. Oh, what is it? Not hopscotch. Leapfrog.
Trying to make
Leapfrog.
a family.
They're playing leapfrog. One just keeps getting stuck on the other one.
That's a
So
tail, right?
yeah, that's her tail. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's her tail.
So, but anyway, I've gotten a lot of neat comments on it. I think on the little model railroad one, I've got 347 likes, which isn't
Yeah, that's
bad.
crazy good. It really is.
Yeah. Getting up there with the donkeys too.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I need. I when I get my donkeys painted, I'm gonna put them right there in my farm scene, up
oh
there
yeah.
with the kids cow tipping or trying to
Hmm.
cow tip.
Yeah, that'll be good. Um, so y'all get members, start painting stuff, and get on there. I know I see Lynn on there. Steve's been on there to comment on some of my stuff. I know everybody's got a lot to do, but
I
something.
liked Lynn's uh, the peanut butter lid that Lynn had with the not E the F7 war bonnet coming out of it.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was good. That was really thinking there.
I'd never seen one. I'd never seen one up on end like Lynn did. So that was very creative, Lynn.
Was that cheating, Lynn, or was that
No,
just a good idea?
it was just a good idea. The
Yeah.
now we do have a surprise slide for you, John.
Oh, okay.
Lynn sent me a picture. Okay, so let's see if that's the next one or not. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Very nice. I like
All
that
right,
CD.
Lynn.
You got
Lynn
to
makes
send that to me.
Lynn makes billboards.
Uh
Okay,
huh.
and whenever he goes with the high desert, MMRC, uh, he puts the billboards out along the modular layout they do.
Very
So
nice.
this is his newest version. So
Very good. Send me that picture, please.
I'll be happy to.
Very good. Thank you,
It's
Lynn.
got a
That's
picture.
great.
Got the picture of your model railroad up there.
Mm-hmm. A nice GP7 or 9. I can't tell in that picture. It's
Looks like
03, so
something.
it's 203, so it should be a 9. I mean, a 7. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Cool beans.
Yeah, it is. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see now. Where am I?
Now, how do you get out of that?
Well, I know how to get out of it. It's not a problem. Maybe. There we go. So I can close out of that. And I want to go back to that. There we are.
Yeah. And I hope to be doing more of those. So, I'll try to send them to
Vinny, you want
Steve.
if you're still on, Vinny, are you gonna be on tonight? Hopefully.
He he better. He wasn't on last Friday. Took the night
Well,
off. Oh my word.
8 o'clock Eastern, folks, is Vinny's live stream, as most everybody knows.
Mhm. And this will probably be the next one I'm posting. It's not not real fancy, but it's
Oh, the wheels!
the wheels. So
I've
couple.
got so many plastic wheels that I've taken off of rolling stock for replaced with metal wheels. That
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
I got them too.
I
And
don't
you
know
know
that
what?
I'll ever use the one Bernard said.
Well, you know what? I save these. I've got enough
Hey, hi.
Gondolas. I can make quite a few carloads of nothing but old uh, wheel sets. So I
Yep.
save them all. If anybody ever needs any, let me know. Most of them are already painted. Trouble is, from here, it'll probably cost more to ship them than it is worth them. So, ah, hi,
All right.
hi,
Hey, hi.
hi, hi.
Or hi, hi. Yeah, they both work. Did everybody watch High's backdrop video? How he makes backdrops?
I started
I've
watching.
always
I haven't
wondered.
finished it.
I've always wondered, Hi, what software I could use other than just it's easy to take the panoramic pictures. Okay, I know how to do that. That's not a problem. But then, how do you print them out to get them to line up to one another and so forth? And it was interesting that you used Paint or 3D Paint as the software for that. That was a good idea.
Hmm.
And when they print out, you got the white edge. You just trim one of the two pictures, use the margin to overlap with, and it gives you a good way to join them. So that was an excellent video. I really appreciated that one.
Yeah, I got to finish it. I think I fell asleep because I watch most of them at night. So they
You
may
know,
run on.
I showed what was it last week before of the example of plastic wheels and collecting crap. I had 3 different of my passenger trains. I got at train shows. Okay, and I didn't replace the wheels on those. And they're all Atherns. And one of the trains started having a derailment issue. What the hell? And then another one started having derailment issues. And I figure it was change of season. Everybody thinks the temperature changes. The rails expand, contract. It's in my case, it's more humidity changes, wood swelling and contracting than it is the rails because of all my different grade changes. But I pulled one of the cars off and I looked at it and I'm like, holy crap. And while at first glance they look as smooth as can be, if you take a pick or even the edge of some tweezers, um, all of a sudden I was peeling off like a retread from a truck. You see the treads laying alongside the highways that just peel off. Well, that's what was coming off of these train wheels. So I started going through all of my uh, train wheels and going, holy crap. So,
Yeah.
and it was just, on the Atherns, it's got metal on one side, plastic on the other. Just the plastic, of course.
Hmm.
Nothing was collecting on the metal.
Did you have traction tires on them?
Okay, traction tires
Yeah, I
on
don't.
a passenger car,
Well, some people don't know. Yeah.
only from an engineer.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Well,
right. Well, I promised my wife that I would go shopping with her and take her to Portillo's. Now, before 3Dub chimes in and says Portillo's, quality isn't what it used to be, la, la, la. Hey, when it's the only game in town, because we're down here in Tampa, and when I want a taste of Chicago, that's the place I go. Right? Whether the quality's as good as in Chicago or not, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's still great as compared to anything else here in Tampa. If you're going through Chicago and you have the opportunity, stop at a Portillo's or any little Italian beef place, or a Vienna beef hot dog place. They'll have them too.
Mm-hmm.
Vienna beef hot dogs voted the Major League Baseball hot dog. I don't know how many years in a row. They're fantastic. So, Chicago style dog. And if you do order a hot dog in Chicago, whatever you do not order ketchup on it. All right, you will immediately be known as a non-Chicagoan.
That's okay. I don't mind being known as a non-Chicagoan because I put ketchup on my hot dog.
Do not put ketchup on a hot dog.
Mm-hmm. But
yeah, Menards are great, aren't they, Steve? We don't have them down here, unfortunately. It's a Home Depot or Lowe's on steroids.
Yeah. And
anyway, folks, I'm gonna cut it off because I promised my wife.
Okay.
And,
that's understandable. I'm still trying to take care of some things I promised my wife I would do before she passed. I'm still doing them.
There you go.
She's got that.
Remember, no live stream next week. I should have a tip of the day on Tuesday if I get done editing it, and it'll be about finishing up the background buildings in Chicago. And then when I get back from that trip, I will be having a third birthday, Retirement Railroad birthday celebration.
Very good.
So
now, Steve, are you going to do an addition to your 2-year? How you showed
there will be some of the same stuff that was in the 2-year in the first year and the second year, with everything from the third year.
Okay.
So, I don't like to put out 2-hour-long videos. I try to keep it at a reasonable time frame because typically people are going to watch 10 to 15 minutes and then say, okay, that's enough.
Well, and just in your third year, you've done probably more in the third year than you did in the first 2 years.
No, I don't think so. First year probably did the most, but it's different stuff. It's different stuff. You got to build in the first year. You got to build bench work. All right, I got to do all the grades. I got to do track lane. I got to do wiring and all that kind of stuff. You get around third year, the only thing I'm doing, I did one piece of track. But I think only one. Well,
two.
Trolley.
Yeah.
Two. The trolley and a spur out there. But it's all structure and landscaping stuff by the third year, for the most part.
Yeah. Very good.
Kraut and Polish, Maxwell Street Polish dogs with sauerkraut on them, fantastic. You go to the Milwaukee Brewers Stadium, Miller Stadium for the Brewers game up in Milwaukee. It's the only stadium, Major League Baseball stadium, where hot dogs aren't the number one selling food. It's the Polish sausage. Or no, excuse me, it's not the Polish sausage. It's the bratwurst. So. That's another thing. But in Chicago, the Maxwell Street Polish is fantastic. And then you got Italian beef, Italian sausage, meatball sandwiches, of course, Chicago style deep dish pizza or thin crust pizza, either one. So, excuse me. To me, All right. The city with the most diverse foods is probably Chicago, just because it probably has the most diverse population. So, anyway, with that, hey, folks, I want to thank y'all for joining us here at the Retirement Railroad. All right, Friday live and mail call. All right. I'll try to have that tip of the day out on Tuesday. And other than that, I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. All right. Bye.
Have a good day, everybody.